Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Soul Child coming at you with his first ever performance review. I've got the Jordan 28 here for you. I've got the OKC away colorway, orange, a light blue, and a white. I personally love this colorway. I gave up a bread 11 and some cash for this. Don't really get down too much with the Jordan retros nowadays. I'm really all about performance shoes. I play a lot of basketball. I play 2 to 3 times a week, play in several leagues on Sundays, and I'm just looking for shoes that can adapt to my style of play. I'm a 5'10", maybe 5'9", 3/4 guard. I play strong. I play fast. I like to change pace really quick. So I need a shoe with great traction, great support. I do have plantar fasciitis, so that's why I look for shoes that have the carbon fiber shank underneath, because that gives me a lot of support. What I also like to do is I like to take out the insoles that come with the shoes and put in my own. I go to Sports Authority or to Finish Line and I get the soft sole inserts for the high arches, and I put that in, and that seems to work pretty well with my plantar fasciitis. So that's a little bit about me. This is one of the most talked about shoes in 2013, and as you all know, it's 2014, and the SEs are pretty prevalent in the stores right now, and those are the shoes without the shroud. I personally enjoy playing with the shroud because the shroud kind of has this stretchy fabric, and when it's zipped up, it kind of gives me this secure and locked feeling that I haven't personally tried on the SEs, but I just personally like my shoes to be really tight and snug on my foot. So without further ado, just like my boy, shout out to Nightwing2303. He's basically the reason why I'm doing all this. Shout out to Nightwing, former Simpson, and to KickGenius. Without those guys, I probably wouldn't even be interested in making a performance review. But like Nightwing says, without further ado, here's my review. We'll start off with the traction, like most of the reviews. That's basically the main issue, the main performance aspect of a shoe that I look for first. If it's not herringbone, I don't really mess with it. But I gave these a chance, and with a lot of the early reviews that came out, a lot of people, gave me hope, telling me that this traction pattern right here works well on all surfaces. It's not your traditional herringbone pattern, but it does do the job, and it's fantastic. I personally love this traction pattern. I've had these for over a year now, and you can see they're a little bit dirty, but they perform perfectly. And if the courts are terrible, because I do play on some terrible courts, all I got to do is give it a wipe or two, and they're back to being fantastic. The rubber on here is very flexible and pliable, so and it's very strong. It's a tough kind of rubber, and usually after a year of playing, you kind of see some wear and tear in areas like around here, where I do a lot of my stopping and cutting and turning, but you don't really see that around here. So this material, I don't know, not too familiar with the technical names of it, but this rubber is fantastic, and this pattern right here, I hope that Jordan brand continues to use it because it worked fantastic. So the traction for me, on a scale of 0 to 10, I would give it a 9, a 9.5. I had no issues, no slipping whatsoever, so I highly recommend these shoes if you're looking for traction as your #1 performance aspect. Now I'm going to go on to the cushioning. Cushioning, I'm sure all of you guys have heard or have read or have watched videos on the flight plate and the unlock zoom. There's zoom in the heel, and then obviously the zoom bags in the forefoot. I personally love the way that this zoom has been implemented in this shoe. It's as if there is no material between the zoom bags and your foot. It's like you're just directly on the zoom bag itself. And I enjoy that because there's a lot of shoes out there like the Hyper Revs that have full-length zoom, which I was really excited about. But for some reason I just don't feel the zoom as much as with these shoes. And then, perfect example, Jordan 12 versus the Hyper Revs. Both use full-length zoom, but for some reason I could just feel the Jordan 12 zoom more than the Hyper Revs. I guess it might be the foam that's used in between, you know, your foot and the zoom. But anyways, those are two different shoes. But with this, I feel like I said, I'm stepping directly on the zoom bags. Like there isn't any material that is, you know, preventing any direct contact with the zoom. I'm opening it up. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this foam or this material right here, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm assuming that there's very little space between the zoom bags and your foot, and when I'm playing, I feel just like the zoom is propelling my foot forward. It feels strange at first because at the forefoot, I don't know if you could see this, but this zoom bag area is raised. So this is the first thing that hits the ground when you're playing. So this part is a little bit raised off the ground, while the rest of your foot is you know, within this area right here. I don't know if you guys could see that from this video. I apologize for the quality of the video. But at first this felt weird, and at first I felt kind of unbalanced because I was just standing on this area right here, but in all reality that's how I play. I play on my toes, so this, you know, simulates the way that I play perfectly. It just kind of propels me forward. I'm always on my toes, so this is a perfect placement for zoom. I'm a big fan of zoom. My favorite zoom setup is double stack, but you know, as I've gotten lighter throughout the years, I prefer, you know, very minimal cushioning setups, and unlock zoom is fantastic if you're a player who wants to be low to the ground and he wants to have great court feel, but at the same time get a lot of cushioning from places where you know, your foot is being used the most. And for me, a lot of the force impact that I feel that I use my foot around would be in this area right here. So this is fantastic. I love unlock zoom, and I think this may have just taken over as my favorite cushioning setup of all time. Support, like I said, I have plantar fasciitis, and basically I have a higher arch than most people, and because I play so much, my foot tends to get inflamed, and it hurts a lot. It usually happens in the summertime because that's when I play the most, and I don't just play basketball, I play a lot of other sports too. So I'm looking for a shoe that has great support underneath, with great arch support. The Penny 5s had great arch support, a little bit bulkier than these, but anything with carbon fiber underneath, that would help me a lot personally. I don't know about you guys. Some people are flat-footed, and you know, they wouldn't mind using shoes like the LeBrons, which don't really have carbon fiber underneath. LeBron is pretty much a flat-footed player. I'm trying to think if he had carbon fiber. Oh, he did have some carbon fiber in his LeBron 5s. Not in the 6s, not in the 7s, not in the 8s. The 9s did have carbon fiber, that setup was kind of like the penny 5s, but they're a little bit too bulky for me. 10s didn't have carbon fiber. 11s had like just a plastic support, but I'm sorry for going off on tangents, but carbon fiber here, this flight plate, perfect for me. Great support. I love carbon fiber. It's lightweight. I'm just used to it. I'm a big Jordan fan, and ever since they implemented carbon fiber underneath, and I knew that it was because Michael had plantar fasciitis, I just stuck with them, and they haven't done me wrong ever since. I enjoyed the carbon fiber plates here at the back, at the heel areas. It's a lot similar to how the Kobe line has their heel supports, and this isn't too too thick or too big of a support system where it could feel like it could increase the weight or feel like it's weighing you down. Like, this is perfect right here. It does the job. Also has a great carbon fiber small piece right here, which kind of contains my foot when I'm slashing and stopping. Jordan Brand really stepped up their game with this model, and I think that I hope that for the 29s, I hope that they kind of utilize the carbon fiber support shanks in the same areas, especially underneath the foot, because I thoroughly enjoyed that, and it just gives you more of a feeling of safety. You don't have to. It's just one less thing to worry about. When you're playing, you don't have to worry about, oh, okay, I can't flex my foot too much or do this movement because it may, inflame my plantar fasciitis. You just kind of play ball, and that's all you should worry about when you're wearing a shoe. So we got traction down, we got support, we got the cushioning, which is the zoom, unlock zoom, fantastic. Material and containment, like I said, the SEs are fantastic. I'm sure they're fantastic. I'm sure they play just as well as these. Obviously, they're a lot cheaper, but I personally prefer the Shroud over my shoe. At first, I liked playing in them with the zipper down, and then with the Shroud kind of folded over like that. But because I didn't really think that this looked too hot on the court. I do like to wear shoes that are stylish as well, and I think these are really stylish. But eventually, I started down here, and then I started to kind of slowly play with these zipped up halfway, and then I got up to the point where I was like, you know what, this gives me the most containment and secure feeling, and this material isn't too restrictive. I know there are other Jordan 28s with different materials that are thicker, but this is more of a cloth. I don't know if you can see this material, but it does stretch, and it doesn't overheat the foot. I don't really care too much about ventilation. That's not really a big issue for me. I sweat a lot when I play, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I enjoy the Shroud. I love this Shroud. I love the way that I feel. It's like if you guys have ever worn a McDavid ankle brace, that secure feel, one of those slip-on ones, not the ones that you tie or lace up like a shoe, but it's like a sock. It kind of feels like this, except this is not as restrictive as those. But the only issue I had would be the durability. I don't know if you guys can see right here. Some people have stepped on it, and there has been some wear and tear in this area. So I'm not sure how long these can go if people continue to step on, the shoes. I would love to get some more Jordan 28s, but I just don't know if I'll be able to find any. I'm sure there's some out there at the outlets and stuff like that, but kind of low on cash right now. So, and then also containment wise, I really like how Jordan Brand uses this like finger-like lacing system. It's minimal, it's really thin, but it's very supportive, and yeah, I know the SEs, it's just pretty much this with like another layer underneath, but if this shroud wasn't here and I was just playing with just this, I think I'd have issues, obviously, with people stepping on your foot, and then that would hurt a lot more. I mean, this doesn't really protect you much if people did step on your foot, but this package, this combination of this lacing system with this shroud, for me personally, it really helps my game, and it helps me play the way I want to play. Not too restrictive. I like to play light. It's low to the ground, so I feel very contained in these. I usually wear a 10 in Kobe's and LeBron's, and I went down to a 9.5 with these. So personally, I would say go down half a size, but you know, my foot is not your foot, so I would definitely try them on before you purchase. And then also inside the heel has this. I think it was like I think they call it a dog bone, or a dog bone kind of collar cushioning system. I remember they were on the Wades. I think the first Wades that Jordan Brand had, and it's just shaped to mold around, fit the gaps between your ankle, your malleolus, and then your Achilles. And this helps a lot to kind of give your foot that secure feeling, that secure, contained feeling. So I enjoy this cushioning right here, the lacing system, and the shroud. So containment and support, fantastic. The price was, I think it was around $250, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, at outlets they might be on sale. I know around my area there were some green camos, but yeah, I also enjoy I enjoy a lot about this shoe, but I like this kind of last around the toe box. It kind of helps contain your foot and this material. I know a lot of people had issues with this ripping in the beginning, but I never experienced any issues. This is great support right here. No issues with ripping in this area. So fantastic containment and support. I wish I would have. I slept on getting those Russell Westbrook Why Nots. I thought at first when I saw them, I was like, okay, that's a terrible idea. You're putting, words now on shoes. What's next? But now that I think about it, I wish I would have went out and got those. I know they're probably all gone now, and they're probably reselling for a little bit higher. So, but I'm a size 9.5. So if you guys out there who are watching are interested in selling, just let me know. I'll definitely be interested in purchasing. Yeah, fantastic shoe. I would put it in my top 5 shoes of all time. And for those of you who are interested, the Kobe 4s are up there. The Jordan 28s. There are a lot of other shoes that I have that I play basketball in, that are performance beasts, that I'll talk about more. Like I said, this is my first video, so I apologize if I'm kind of everywhere. I apologize for the quality camera and not showing you guys enough views of the shoe, but and they look kind of beat up right now. I wish I had like a new shoe to show you and kind of point out, the different performance aspects of it, and I wish they were more pretty, and then I can show you what they look like after I play in them. But But yeah, that's my performance review for the Jordan 28s. Overall, like I said, they play low to the ground, great cushioning, great support, very minimal, durable in the sense that they can hang with my style of play, which is very aggressive and very stop and go. Not so sure if they're durable, like I said, with the material of the shroud. And then there are different materials with the shrouds, so you might want to look into maybe getting the camo material, the camo shrouds, because those look like the material may be a little bit different than these. Overall, I would rate these on a scale of 0 to 10. I would give these a 9.5, a 9 or 9.5, just because there is no perfect basketball shoe. But this is probably as close as it gets. The Kobe 4 is probably tied with these for 2A and 2B. I think that if the Kobe 4s had zoom in the forefoot, or if it was full length zoom instead of that weak ass lunar crap foam, I think it would definitely be the greatest shoe of all time, just because the traction, the fit, the durability was on point. And the Kobe 6s were some of the greatest shoes of all time, performance models of all time, in my opinion. So I'll get more into that. If I see that a lot of people like my reviews or find them helpful, I'll definitely post some more. And I'm not just looking at Nike and Jordan brand. I also want to do more Adidas and Under Armour, because I think that they don't get enough credit for their performance models. And plus, a lot of people are all about Nike and Jordan brands. So hopefully, I can get my hands on some of those. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. This is Soul Child checking out.